Good morning. I'm here live today on Facebook in my group talking to the amazing Sarah Attwood, who I come across every now and again at meetings, and both of us keep saying we must meet up for coffee, and we don't. We don't. Yeah, I don't know what happens. Life gets in the way. And Sarah runs Thrive Health and Wellness. It's wellness, isn't it? Not well-being. Wellness.
Wellness.
And she's a lady I really, really need to see. So, Sarah, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hello. So I am the amazing Sarah Attwood. I like that introduction very much, Bev. Thank you. I run Thrive Health and Wellness. I'm a kinesiologist and I'm based in Sherborne. People might have no idea what that is.
I was just going to say, kinesiology.
My brother, bless him, says I can easily make people better. Ba-bum.
That. How easy is that to bring something down to basic English that the likes of me can understand?
So it's basically about, trying to get to the bottom of your health problems, be it, emotional, energy, digestion, stress, sleep. We dive in, we use some muscle testing. You can see there's a little couch here. And it's all about working out what's going on with you. So what I like to think that I do is I offer people an insight into what do they need, what's going on. We're all busy. We're all masses of our, we're all lists of symptoms, lists of lives, lists of stresses, lists of jobs, different hats, mum, wife, sister, all of these different things. And we're all individual. So that's what I like to do to people, to help them work out what's going on with them and how can we help them feel better.
And I suspect that what we need goes a bit deeper than chocolate money and a hunky man, people. It's much deeper than that.
I must admit. I'm married into the next. So I like a man in uniform, Bev. I can't lie.
We are not that sort of interview, people. Another day for Sarah and her men in uniform. So why did you begin doing it then? Why did you get interested in this? I can't even say it, people. An easy way to make people better.
That's it. Then you remember kinesiology.
Yeah.
So I need to start this by saying that I used to think all of this was a load of nonsense. I used to think anything alternative, I was completely skeptical. I was brought up very much, go to the GP, take antibiotics, deal with it, crack on. But sadly, I got glandular fever when I was doing my GCSEs, and it developed into ME. And for the next kind of 7, 8, 9 years, I sadly progressively got worse. Yeah. Spent about 6 months pretty much housebound. My mum was having to wash me. I couldn't even lift my arms up here, Bev. Having to cut up my food. Couldn't walk, couldn't really eat very much. So I've been in the depths of that chronic illness and really, lost my way. I had no idea what to do. Yeah. And I think when that happens, it is overwhelming, the amount of contradictory advice that is out there and information and books and all sorts. And I didn't know what to do. So we tried lots of different alternative approaches, and all of them work for different people. So acupuncture, everything. For me, the one that went bingo was kinesiology. I didn't know how to pronounce it. I didn't know what to expect. I went to Long and I lay on a couch and they put my arms in funny places and did some muscle testing. But what I understood from it is it gave me feedback about what my body was going through. Right. So, in one session, we found out that the glandular fever was still there. It was still hiding. It kind of mutated as a virus. It was a post-virus. My gut was completely out of balance. I had a huge amount of food intolerances. And also I was very stressed and I was quite down, obviously. Because,
I can imagine. Long-term, those what I call invisible long-term illnesses can get, that you become really tired with them. I've got fibromyalgia, so I get that. You get tired of the symptoms. Yeah.
You get tired of the symptoms, you get tired of battling, you get tired of trying to explain to people. I felt like I wanted to say, I'm not making excuses. I really am poorly. I want to be outside running around doing stuff. I just am not able to right now. So there's a huge battle going on, I think, mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. Yeah. So for me, it was this light bulb moment. We went along, found out all these things. And what I liked, Bev, was that they said they didn't have a magic wand. And I liked that because there was no, we promise you a magic cure. They said, we found lots of things. Yeah. We can start to work through them layer by layer, peel them back, get back to better health. And we did. And within months, I was feeling lots better.
Wow. And how old were you then when you were finally better?
I was early 20s. I was kind of early mid-20s. So it's a good 10 years now of being fully recovered.
It's a long bit to miss of a teenage life? You know, when you're expected to be out there with your mates and doing those things and trotting around the world. That must have been really difficult.
It was, and I was your typical good girl perfectionist, which I think contributed. You know, if I was A-star, I was a scholarship girl. I did the swimming, the netball, the music, and if I didn't get an A in something, I would cry. Honestly, I put so much pressure; it's ridiculous. So I was used to being this all-active person, and to suddenly be spending life in pajamas and friends not really popping in as much because they didn't really understand what it was. I didn't know how to explain it. You know, I would lie there and, you know, people would think it was Lady Muck lying on a settee. And I was like, no, I can't actually lift myself up unless my mum comes and shifts the cushions. So very hard.
Yeah. Do you think that the pressure you put on yourself at that age actually, well, didn't help the fact that you ended up with glandular fever and it took so long to get rid of it? So as much as the glandular fever is an illness, the pressure you put on yourself.
I completely agree with you. And actually, I must admit, now in my mid-30s, I like to help a lot of people. I feel old, but, you know, that's fine. I'll take that. Thanks. But I feel that children and teenagers especially have insane amounts of pressure on themselves. I do think there was part of me that completely inadvertently, unconsciously poisoned my body, you know, with that stress, constant cortisol, like pushing through the system, go. And actually, that's what people about is adrenal stress. So the adrenals are our lovely glands that keep us going. People have heard of this flight. And it's funny, you get to the end of the working week and you go, God, I'm shattered, and you can't for the weekend. That's an example, actually, of adrenals being out of balance. And we need to stop that. We need to help support them while they're still working okay. So, yes, in a nutshell, completely think that impacted it. And I think that's the funny thing about kinesiology. Yes, it's muscle testing. Yes, I can check you for food intolerances. But you know what? I like going further. And I like doing more with the energy, the emotion. We all have worries. We all have fears. Everything affects our body. And it's sometimes trying to keep things up here and not flooding the body with all of those chemical reactions.
Yeah, but you now run a business. And running a business, it's not as easy as you will think when you run your own business. It's hard work. So how have you balanced now? So you realise what set it all off. How do you balance running a business? And you've got children, haven't you? You've got a family.
I've got husband and puppy and cat.
It's a family. Dogs are worse than
in the future.
So you've got all that going on. How do you balance it out now?
And I also like to add in the practicing what I preach. So balancing health and wellness, and that's the journey. Because as you know, when you set up your business, you kind of go hell for leather. You get so excited and overtaken. You want to, and certainly as a therapist, want to help so many people. And I'm like, oh, I haven't really factored in a break for myself. The last few months has seen a real shift actually in me now. Mondays are my days for me. They're my admin days, my study days, my marketing days, my whatever I need them to be. And then I can give my all to my clients Tuesday to Friday and 2 evenings a week. But I reclaim that time. So I've got a lot better. I mean, this has been 15 years in the making, Bev, but I've got better at putting my needs first so that I can help others.
And I think that's an issue, isn't it? The younger you are, and no disrespect to young people, and this is my opinion, generally have a lot more energy. I mean, I'm at the 60-year end of life and I have less energy, but I don't have as much pressure on me because at my age now, it's like, well, you know, I've been there. I know what works for me. I know what doesn't. At 30, though, it's almost like, you know, I should be forging ahead and I should be doing this and doing that. So what would you say to women who are starting up their business? And I work with a few of them that, you know, working every hour God sends and really, really are in that perfectionist stage. What are you going to say to them?
I would say keep in mind what you're trying to achieve. So for me, I offer health and wellness. Therefore, I need to live and breathe it. And also go slowly, build it up. I've been a kinesiologist for about 5 years now. I've only been full-time in my business for the last year because I've been building up in the evenings, at the weekends, took a part-time job, did some freelance work, and then was at the point, and obviously being military wife, we tend to move. So that can be slightly disruptive. Might come back to that.
It's men in uniform. Get it now. Wasn't random at all.
No, it's trying to establish yourself in an area where we might lead a more transient, slightly nomadic lifestyle. So I would say to the people who want to do it, first of all, do it. Dream big. Absolutely go for it. Know in your heart. Talk to people about it. Get ideas, because you will be surprised at how much other people see the greatness in you that you don't see yourself.
That is so true. I talk about women standing in their power, whether they run a business, whether they're happy at home, looking up, wherever it may be. But your greatness is standing in your own power.
Yes. It gives me chills thinking about it.
No, it fascinates me. But the bit about, for me, standing in your power is understanding your limitations. I think as women, we expect ourselves to be able to juggle everything. You know, family, the kids, aging parents, the whole works. But it is, isn't it? That power is about understanding your limitations and then knowing who can help, like the lovely Sarah.
and working out things that work for you. So linking to the military side, we moved down here 2 years ago to Sherborne, didn't really know anybody, knew about 2 people, joined the local military wives choir, now have a whole network of people who understand, who get it. It's wonderful. And that time for me, Wednesday evening, is completely precious. Like nothing will ever get in that way. That is my evening. And I love that. And knowing that is great. But I think talking with people about it, I was very quiet at the beginning because in between my illness and being a kinesiologist, I had a few years in the corporate world. As you said, it was tough being unwell, mid-teens to early 20s. And I felt like I needed to catch up on that lost time. So
Sarah, I've got to you now, jogging around the world, smoking as much as you can, just doing everything a teenager would do in 6 months.
Basically, caffeine and sugar-filled 14-hour days in the advertising world in London. I mean, obviously, very healthy lifestyle.
Wonderful.
We're just trying to chuck it all in. You're getting up and going to the gym at 6 o'clock. I don't do that anymore. Yeah, it was a short phase, but all of those things where you think you need to catch up. It was very much work hard, and I knew I was ignoring all of the health messages, but I felt that my kinesiologist helped me get to a good place, and I was like, let's enjoy it. Yeah. But my 4 years I spent in London were constant health relapses, and I refused to see it, to be fair. So that's, there's...
Oh, no, I get
it. Because we just go, okay, la, 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 I can't hear you, reverse sign, I'm not interested.
I was having a discussion with a guy last night, so I've done NLP and stuff, but that isn't a physician heal that doesn't work. But he was saying how so often we are in battle with ourselves, almost like a marriage, and going, well, no, I'm not going to listen to you when you're telling me to, I'm not going to, I've got to go and do this. And there's this constant battle until in the end, the inside one just hits you around the head with a wet kipper, says, well, I'll put you to bed then.
And it does. And I feel like I missed all the, I ignored all the signs, all the flags. I kept getting unwell. because I was working in London, coming back to Wiltshire to rest, going back up again, and just juggling and getting really tired. And weekends were a lot about sleep, not exploring London in my, mid-20s, should be loving it. And it was 6 years ago, my father died suddenly. And I relapsed with health, and I got glandular fever almost re-triggered. And I just thought, do you know what? No, this is not the life. I was feeling relatively unhappy with everything because I was just burnt out. I was trying to live a life of expectations and next career levels that you should achieve and all of these pressures as the old was. And it took that, and I like to help people now before they reach that point, but it reached that bottom level point for me where I just thought, I am not happy. I'm not enjoying my life. I'm not well. And I thought, this epiphany moment, I thought, I need to change. It doesn't just happen overnight. No. I did make the decision to leave London, move back home, my parents, thanks, Mum, and nearly 30. And just thought, right, we need to look into this. But it's very hard to shift the corporate mindset, Bev, to realise that becoming a therapist was women.
And I am convinced this is a female thing. And I'm not, I love men, not being, but men manage these things because they can put them in the right boxes. We women, doesn't matter what we're doing. My daughter she wants to be a housewife, a mum, look after the kids, didn't want to go to work. That's what she always wanted. But even then, she put this enormous pressure on herself that the kids were doing okay. And why weren't the kids behaving? And it must be my fault. And, I had him too early. That's the problem. And I don't think, and then, or we go, I'm going to go and do the corporate thing, and we put even more pressure on ourselves. So
we're always, I feel like we never have that moment to check in to find out what do we truly want. And I love, there is this new wave and huge amount of books out there and the Daily Greatest, all these things that help us now check in different courses, different people like yourself that can help you find your voice, find your passion, what's going on, what do you need? But I don't think we're taught that. And, you know, certainly in schools, it's all about, I went to a, you know, very lovely independent school, as I said, I was a scholarship girl. It was very much achieve.
Yeah.
Yes, it was healthy, be happy, do all your sports as well. But it was an element about, but you have to be the best though. And I, you know, and although, you know, I think we have that pressure just within society. I think it's
right about schools. They don't teach us to be citizens. They don't teach us to enjoy moments. It is always what's coming next. So people rarely sit in that moment.
So true. And they've bringing a lot more of mindfulness techniques into schools now. And one thing I like doing, I like going and talking to schools. I talk to go into schools, have some chats with them, give some little demonstrations, talk to them about how it's okay to check in. Trying to be careful. You can say you can still achieve, you can be that person, but you know what, look after yourself as well and just be mindful about, you know, your health, your sleep, your energy, things like that.
Right.
Because I get a lot of mums bringing their teenagers to me around the exam times. Their tummies are playing up. What's going on with our digestion? And of course, it's not really the food's fault. You know, let's not demonize the bread.
You blame everything, but what's actually going on?
There are certain foods sometimes that people don't trigger. I personally don't eat as much wheat because it is just a trigger. When I was ill, I got IBS, so it triggered all that for me. But it's not really the food's fault. It's my body's response to it.
Yeah.
And so working with these children, and sometimes I talk to the mums as well and bring them in, and they have similar things. We find bachelor remedies, we find some affirmations, we find any moments of calm that aren't too woo-woo for them, but are just enough that they can start to think, oh, that makes sense. Oh, I'll be interested in that.
Yeah, that sounds great. So I've got to ask you, what about the future? Where do you see your business and you in, say, the next 3 years?
Do you know what, Bev? The future is so exciting. I feel like I'm eager to rush towards it. And I think what I'd love to share there with people is one great piece of advice that I was given by a friend who's a business coach, was to develop different revenue streams, because she said, you are a therapist or, you know, whatever you're doing, if you're just basing on your time, you know, you can only ever have so many clients.
Tell me about it.
I want to help so many people, not too evangelical. I just want to share because I feel like I've gone through a lot and I'd like people to pick out the good bits from it to, you know, prevent details. So a big part for me as the future is I do the kinesiology. I'm running more workshops. I've partnered with a yoga teacher. We're doing sleep workshops, digestion workshops.
Are we going to do you online more then in something like this where you're talking to groups? Yes,
online is a huge present. I must admit, I get asked a lot on my Facebook page, oh, I'm not near you. When are you going to do so online workshops and webinars will be coming in. And the big exciting part from there's two parts that are really exciting. I'm so overexcited about it. Sorry. I recently qualified as a naturopathic nutritionist, which means I can now treat people nationally, globally even, with the diet, with the helping them understand what's going on and getting some better relationships with food. But the passion is to take everything that I do online, so to create online courses for people, you know, 8-12 weeks to better gut health. And break it down, help people understand what's going on, bit of biology, not too much, but just how do things work, what can trigger it, what works for you. So the future is online, and I think also with the military bit, it's going to help just in case we ever have to change.
Absolutely, and to get it to further people, you know, to really share it. So we are on the lookout in the future for Sarah's Thrive Health and Wellness Academy that you'll be able to join and get all the help you need. I'm so looking forward to that. Well, it's been a joy, as always, to talk to you, Sarah, and for you to share what you do and why you do it. And I think we love to know why people do what they do. So we now know Sarah has lived it, survived it, and now knows how to help you survive it. And if you need to get hold of Sarah, I'm going to put all her contact details in the comments, because most of you will be watching this later. Although it says live, I know what you're all like, busy live. Later on they'll watch this. But Sarah, I want to say thank you to you for joining me for my 15-20 minutes of chat. It's been great. And we will meet for coffee. We will meet
for coffee. Let's do that soon.
And I do need to come and talk to you about what my body needs, because it certainly doesn't need the junk I'm giving it at the moment. So from me, I'd like to say goodbye. Sarah, say goodbye to everybody.
Good luck with your journeys, be they health or change.
Love it. Okay. Bye, people. Join me next Wednesday. when I'll be talking to another amazing businesswoman about what they do and why. Okay, ta-ra!
Thanks.